Hello adventurers and welcome back to my channel. I am moving around today in my van, doing a few things and seeing some cool stuff. But along the way, the sun finally came out after like 3 days of gross, which means I'm pulling some solar. It's not great, but it's some, but I need to check the panel to make sure it's clean. So up I go. And it doesn't look bad, it doesn't look bad. On my way down to the site that I'm at, I hit some bumps, so some things fell over. So I need to pick up my grocery bag. And I pulled out the Road Pro, so at some point today I'm gonna find a grocery store. I also have my small power station plugged into the van while it's running, so we should be topped off by the time I get to wherever camp's gonna be. I have no idea about that. Last night was weird. If you didn't catch my story time, go check it out. It was a little different, but for now, back in the van and off to my next location, which I haven't really decided where I'm going to go yet. I have several videos that are going to be coming out from my travels in Missouri, and I have some ideas. I just want to go to some places I've never been before, and I want to share them with you guys. And some of them are going to be things that everybody's going to love, and some of them are going to be things that people are like, okay, that's different, but that's okay. I did pick up a patch a while ago, though. I went to the Mastodon State Historic Site, and you'll see that on a video at some point. I was there, and as I was there came in a field trip, and I was like, oh no, because it was a pretty big group, but at the same time, I'd already filmed most of the video, so I'm gonna put it all together and share it with you guys, and I think you'll like it because I had no idea, first and foremost, that there were mastodons in Missouri. Second, I didn't know the differences between a mastodon and a mammoth, and now I do, and so I feel so much better. But I also picked up a map of all the different places in Missouri, and I think I'm about to go off and find another one. Yee! So excited. Today's been good though. Today has been very good. The sun coming out really brightened my spirits. I just needed to get out of that like funk that I was in with the bad weather and then the bad news and all the things. And every day I'm going to challenge myself to just keep on going, even though it's hard sometimes. And I needed to reset, I think. So I took some time, I reset, and I'm not moving on business as usual, but rather I'm moving on with more oomph in my giddy up. Yeah, that's the best way to describe it. So I'm challenging myself to just do as much as I physically possibly can. And with that, I need to figure out where my next stop is. Okay, I found it. I'm approximately 43 miles away from the Missouri Mines, which is kind of cool. And you could probably see on here, I just left the Sandy Creek Covered Bridge Historic Site. It was cool. It was really cool. Normally I give you little tidbits and sneak peeks in the videos so that you can go and watch the next one if you're interested, but I'm not doing that today. I want you to go see that because it has some really cool stuff in it. So I'm not going to give you a teaser. I'm just not. Instead, I'm going to get on the road and we're going to drive for approximately 47 minutes, which is probably closer to 55 minutes because traffic. And we're going to see something else cool. I'm very excited. I'm super excited. But on my way, I decided I needed to eat something, and I didn't really want to eat something, so I'm having one of these Wanabana, it should be banana, Wanabana smoothies. These are the things that I picked up at the Dollar Tree. I love them. They're really good, and they're like a drinkable breakfast. So here we go. And I probably at some point in time need to clean out my refrigerator too because something leaked, and I don't know what it is, but it smells weird. Maybe it's garlic. I don't know. This was untouched though, so I'm having this. Okay, I made it to a random Dollar General. I was going to try to find like an actual grocery store, like a Walmart or something, but I haven't found one yet. And I need to get something that I can put in the Road Pro to heat up so I can have a warm meal after this next site. So, Dollar General it is. Let's see what I can find. So what I think I'm gonna do is do some barbecue and make some barbecue sandwiches because that sounds really good and it's easy and I can eat the rest of them for dinner tonight. So I'm gonna put this in the Road Pro and I need some buns. Like these maybe? Sure, that works. Okay, so over here on my fridge, I have my little Road Pro, and I'm gonna pop it open and get some things out, and I'm gonna try to heat this meat in here. This should work pretty easily. I've done several dishes like this before, but I just picked up this, which is a heat and eat kind of barbecue. You can also eat this chilled. The one thing I didn't get was pickles, because they didn't have any pickles that weren't in glass. I usually store all of my Road Pro supplies inside here, so I have my little aluminum pans. I'm just going to use one of these today, and I'm gonna put the meat inside, close it down, plug it in, and let it cook while I'm driving. Now, before I get started though, I'm gonna go ahead and take this off because it's a little warmer in the van now because I was running the heater, and I don't really need this. And I'm gonna go ahead and open this and try to get it all into this little aluminum pan. Now, before I start this, I know a lot of people are going to be very upset that I'm using aluminum. I've been using aluminum my entire life. It's not going to change. And this is what Road Pro actually says you should be using in this. I also am yet to find any silicone pans that I actually like for this that cook evenly and nice. So it is what it is, but barbecue was on my mind, and when I saw the barbecue, I was like, ooh, this could be good. So I'm gonna put it into here, and we'll see what happens. So from the front seat of my van, I'm just gonna rake all of this off into here very carefully, not to spill on myself. Now I can close this and lock it down really good and plug it into my DC port. Lights on, so it's cooking. That's how easy Road Pro can be. You don't always have to cook something from scratch. Road Pro can be used to either cook things from scratch or heat things up. And that's kind of why I like them, because sometimes you just want something warm and you don't want to have to like do the most. And most of my cooking devices require me to either plug something in or to get out a full camp stove, and this does not. It's just super easy, and then the cleanup on it is very easy because it's already in a contained little thing. So now I just drive. That's it. I just drive. So by the time that I get to my destination and I'm finished with the video, it should be time to eat, and it'll be nice and toasty. Now, a lot of people have asked me if I prefer this over the Hot Logic. I have not tried the Hot Logic. I do know the reason why I chose this one is because they're readily available at truck stops. So if I need to replace it ever, I can, but also because you can cook meat in them. And I've heard a lot of people say that you can cook things in a Hot Logic, but Hot Logic is mostly used for warming, not cooking. And I wanted to be able to cook. Like, I can cook a roast in this thing, a very small roast, but a roast just the same. And maybe I'll show you guys some of the things that I do cook in this at a different time, but for now I just wanted something warm. And I didn't want to stop off at like a fast food place. I just didn't. But I wanted a good barbecue sandwich, and this is consistent. I've had this before. It tastes fine. I'll be happy with this, and I'll have leftovers for dinner tonight. I need to put this up though. Yeah. With that said, I am back on the road. The site that I'm going to, and I was not expecting it to look like this. That is insane. Before I leave the van, this is looking pretty good. So what I'm actually going to do is turn this off while I am inside, because it'll keep nice and cozy. Doing this one-handed is weird, but this will keep nice and cozy, and then whenever I come out, I should be able to eat. Because again, this was just a heat and eat, so less than 20 minutes, and I have food ready to go. Like, literally less than 20 minutes. I love this thing for that very reason. So, barbecue sandwiches when I get back to the van. Yes! Check, check, check. But for now, I need to figure out where I go into this place, and this is very cool. I'm probably gonna have to wear my jacket though. It's pretty windy outside. I'll probably take my bigger camera with me. All things I have to think about before I go. So, to the inside of this interesting historic site. back in the van. That was awesome. I'm about to make up my couple of burgers slash barbecue sandwiches. So I've got more buns that I probably will know what to do with. So I guess I'm going to have to come up with some creative sandwich purposes because they don't sell just like 2 buns at the Dollar General. If I would have gone to Walmart, I could have got a smaller batch, but I did not find a Walmart. So I'm just going to start figuring this out. And it looks like I have 6 more of these to figure out. So I'm sure some of these will be used up for dinner because obviously, but for now, starting off the way that I can. Shake, shake, shake. I also need to get out my receipt so I can scan that for Fetch because your girl is trying to get a gift card. I've been using all of my Fetch gift cards for things that I do anyway. So for example, I office out of Starbucks. So whenever I get a Fetch gift card, I just put it toward a Starbucks card. And that way, while I'm there, I'm not paying for a drink out of pocket. It's been really handy. So far, so good, but going to continue this and keep doing that because it seems to be a smart way for me to office and then not break the bank. So for now, man, I'm hungry. I'm hungry. When in the van, don't have to be fancy, don't have to impress anybody, just have to put these together. And I did it on a plate so I wouldn't make a mess because, well, let's be honest, it can get messy. Next up, I'm gonna open this guy up and oh, looks good. Let's just face it, van life is not always glamorous. Sometimes it's sitting in your front seat making a barbecue sandwich. Like this. Ooh, yummy, gonna be in my tummy. I'm not gonna buckle up just yet because I'm just going down the parking lot to get a different angle of the building I was just at because you can only see so much from this side. So I want to make sure that I get all the views before I leave. So just driving across the parking lot. And then I'll take a big old bite of my barbecue sandwich, which is going to make me so happy. Oh, today's been a great day. I woke up with some weirdness kind of on my mind from last night, which again, I told you guys about. Go watch that video. Wild stuff I have learned. Went to a couple really cool places and now I'm here, which this place actually is really neat because you can see the history, but also because there is a bike trail here and apparently a shooting range in the opposite direction. That's not my journey really, but okay, cool. But I really like the fact that you can merge history with recreation. And I try to go to as many places like that as I possibly can because there's just so many things out there that are fascinating to me. And again, my journey's never just been about the van. It's always been about all the cool stuff. And the more cool stuff I find, the more enthusiastic I am to find more cool stuff. So that's kind of my journey. That's my jam. I love that. But I am almost over to the part that I can do my footage from. And so then I got to figure out where I'm going to go next. I haven't gotten that far in my day. I was wondering if the clouds were going to keep following me, and they are, but they're not. So I may be okay with like one more good adventure today before I wrap it up, but I have to figure out where I'm going to stay also. And that part is just not something I've even put a concept of a brain cell into yet. Okay, I found myself another place, so wish me luck on this one. In the meantime, I'm going to start on my little barbecue sandwich. This is gonna be messy though. Maybe I'll get a napkin. Okay, so I changed my plans and now I am driving toward a campsite that I'm interested in. I'm very curious to see if this is going to be available, but the reviews looked really good. According to this, I am 90 miles away. I opted to just go ahead and find a campsite because even though it's still early enough in the day where I could take another adventure, I was kind of afraid that if I didn't cover this part in this section of the state, I might not be able to find a place because of some things that are going on in this area. And so I'm driving a little further away, but at the same time, it's an adventure. I've never been through this section and it is beautiful because the clouds are so perfect today. Not everything is like blooming yet, but it's starting to, and it's really nice. So thoroughly just enjoying kicking back and listening to my playlist. I spend a lot of time just with my thoughts because I travel by myself a lot. And while doing that, listening to music is a great way to just kind of enjoy the drive. I mean, mean, how could you not love this view? This is beautiful. Okay, this seems like a beautiful spot, and it's called the Blue Springs Campground. It's $10 to stay here, and just beyond that little ridge there is a blue spring of water. I really wanted to stay here. It has a vault toilet. It has nice little camping setups if I was here in a tent or in the van. The problem is I just saw a whole bunch of guys coming out of here when I was at the kiosk, and one of them, whenever I was standing by the kiosk, rolled down his window and made a weird comment, kind of. And because there's no one else down here, I don't really feel comfortable being down here. And normally I would be fine with this because I really like my solitude, but the statement that they made was just a bit weird. So I'm gonna pass, only because of the statement that they made. I'm a firm believer in trust your gut, and if you have a group of guys like drive past and make a comment, "We'll be seeing you later tonight," does that make you feel comfortable? No. So I think I will come back here, just not right now. And I'm gonna mark this on my map because I definitely want to come back. It's beautiful. I just don't want to be here when those guys come back. Yeah. But at least exploring the way that I'm doing, I'm finding new places, and I think that that's part of the value of doing this. So now I'm gonna take this very windy, narrow road back up to the top to where the kiosk was, and then back out to the highway, and I'll just keep it moving. You know, sometimes I think people say things just because they don't want you to be in places. It's not necessarily that they're dangerous, but you never know. So you have to really be on your toes whenever people say weird stuff. And so I would rather personally just keep it moving, keep myself safe, versus at some point in the evening, if they're trying to come out here and drink some beer and say some weird stuff. I have nothing against people congregating to fish, to have a party. I just don't want to be in the middle of it because that puts you in a weird spot as a person who's just there, especially when your cell service is not great. And I only have one bar out here. So I marked it on my Google map though. Definitely want to come back. Maybe not on a weekend. I did grab one of these though, and it has some other places on it. So I'm going to look through it really quickly and then get back on the road. After I left that campsite, I was driving and almost got run off the road. Today's not my day. This has been my not week. Of all the times that I've traveled, this has been the most weird time. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to book a campsite for the remainder of the weekend. I am going to do all of my maintenance things that need to be done in that time. And in the process, I'm going to rest. Because I'm just tired. I'll probably do some like cooking around camp and stuff, but I'm going to do laundry. I'm going to freshen up my hair. I'm going to get my oil changed if I can find a good place to do that. I'm gonna kind of clean my van a little bit because there's some things that need to be done. And I've already booked the campsite. It's a familiar campsite that I've been to before. I'm kind of lingering in this area because I want to meet my dad, and then we're gonna do some stuff, but I would rather have all this done before he gets here. So I think that's what I'm gonna do. In the process, I'm getting some gas and have about an hour to drive. So yeah, some days